What if I told you your roof is basically printing free money, and you're just letting it go to waste every single day? Seriously, while your electricity bill keeps climbing, the sun is doing its job for free. So here's the real question. Why aren't you using it yet? Forget the old school headache of solar. No installers, no permits, no waiting months. Plug-and-play solar kits have completely changed the game. You can literally set some of these up in an afternoon and start generating power the same day. But here's the catch. Not all kits are created equal. Some give you solid, reliable power. Others? Honestly, they just look good on paper. So in this video, we're breaking down 6 of the best plug-and-play home solar kits, comparing them head-to-head so you actually know which one fits your setup and which one you should skip. And while you're watching, I want you to think about this. Are you going for maximum power, portability, or just something simple that works? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm curious. Let's jump in. 6. Eco-worthy 200-watt solar kit. Rewritten. Alright, let's start with the eco-worthy 200-watt kit. And this one is interesting because it's basically the cheapest way to get into real solar power without feeling like you're taking a financial risk. On paper, 200 watts sounds solid. And honestly, for the price, it kind of is. You're getting 2 100-watt monocrystalline panels that actually feel durable. Aluminum frame, tempered glass, the whole deal. Compared to something like the DOKIO portable kit, this feels way more like a permanent setup you'd mount on an RV or cabin roof and forget about. But here's where things get real. The weak point is the controller. Eco-worthy uses a basic PWM controller. And this is exactly where it falls behind something like the Renogy kit. What this means in simple terms? You're not getting the full power your panels could produce. In perfect sunlight, instead of pushing close to 1,000 watt-hours daily like Renogy can hit, you're realistically sitting somewhere around 600 to 800 watt-hours. That's a noticeable drop. Now compared to the Nature Power 110-watt kit, Eco-worthy obviously wins in raw power. It's not even close. But unlike Nature Power, you don't get an inverter here. So you'll need to add that yourself if you want to run AC devices. And compared to the SOLPERK kits, this isn't even playing the same game. Those are for battery maintenance. This is for actual power generation. So who is this really for? If you're on a tight budget and want maximum watts per dollar, this makes sense. It's plug and play, easy to install, and gives you enough juice for lights, charging, maybe a small pump. But if efficiency matters to you, or you plan to rely on solar daily, you'll quickly start looking at Renogy instead. So let me ask you, would you rather save money up front or get better performance long term? Drop your take below. 5. SOLPERK 20-watt kit. Now this one flips the whole idea of solar power on its head. The SOLPERK 20-watt kit isn't here to run your appliances. It's here to save your battery from dying when you're not even using it. And honestly, for that job, it absolutely crushes it. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Your car, RV, or boat battery slowly drains even when it's just sitting there. Over time, that kills the battery. That's exactly where this kit shines. Compared to something like the Eco-worthy or Renogy systems, this isn't about power output, it's about precision. And that's why the smart controller in this kit is such a big deal. Unlike cheap trickle chargers that just dump power into your battery, SOLPERK's controller actively manages charging. It prevents overcharging, protects battery health, and even helps recover slightly drained batteries. That's something the bigger kits don't focus on at all. Now obviously, if you compare it to the SOLPERK 50 watts version, our number 1 pick, this one is less powerful. The 50 watt gives you more flexibility and faster recovery, but for pure maintenance, this 20 watt kit is actually more than enough. And when you compare it to portable options like DOKIO, this one is way more set it and forget it. It's built to stay outside permanently, handle weather, and just quietly do its job. So if you've ever had your car battery die at the worst possible moment, you already know how valuable this is. Be honest, how many times has that happened to you? Let me know. 4. Nature Power 110-watt kit, rewritten. Now this one is for beginners, like true beginners who don't want to figure anything out. The Nature Power 110-watt kit is basically the everything-in-one-box solution, and that's what makes it stand out. Here's what you're getting. A 110-watt panel, a PWM controller, and most importantly, a 300-watt inverter. And that inverter changes everything. Unlike the eco-worthy or Renogy starter kits, which require extra purchases, this one lets you plug in AC devices right away. Laptop, light, small appliance, you're good to go. But, and this is important, it's not perfect. The panel is polycrystalline, which means it's less efficient than the monocrystalline panels used in Renogy or eco-worthy. So even though it's 110 watts, it doesn't perform as strongly in real-world conditions. And then there's the inverter. It's a modified sine wave, not pure sine wave. That means it's fine for basic stuff, but sensitive electronics? Not ideal. Compared to building your own setup with a Renogy kit and a separate inverter, this is less flexible. Now, if you compare it to DOKIO, Nature Power is way less portable, but much more stable for a semi-permanent setup. And compared to eco-worthy, you're trading raw power for convenience. So what this really comes down to is simplicity versus performance. If you just want something that works out of the box, this is hard to beat. But if you're thinking long-term or upgrading later, Renogy starts to look a lot more appealing. So what would you plug into this first? I'm curious. Drop it below. 3. DOKIO 150-watt portable kit. Rewritten. Now let's talk about freedom. The DOKIO 150-watt kit is for people who don't want to be tied down, literally. This thing is ridiculously lightweight for what it offers. We're talking under 10 pounds for a 150-watt setup. Compare that to eco-worthy or Renogy, where each panel alone can weigh that much. That's a huge difference. It folds up like a briefcase, sets up in minutes, and comes with a built-in controller plus USB outputs. So unlike the bigger kits, you can charge your phone directly without even touching a battery. But here's the trade-off. It's not built for permanent use. Compared to rigid panels like Renogy or even the SOLPERK 50 watts, this is more delicate. You don't want to leave it out in harsh weather long-term. Performance-wise, it's solid. But again, you're dealing with a PWM controller. So just like eco-worthy, you're not getting maximum efficiency. Still, for portable use, it's more than enough. Compared to Nature Power, this is way more flexible. Compared to Renogy, it's way more portable. But compared to both, it sacrifices durability. So this really comes down to lifestyle. If you're camping, traveling, or building a mobile setup, this is a no-brainer. If you could take this anywhere right now, where would you go? Drop your dream destination. 2. Renogy 200-watt kit. Rewritten. Now we're getting serious. The Renogy 200-watt kit is where quality meets long-term thinking. And honestly, this is the one most people should be looking at if they're even slightly serious about solar. Right away, you notice the difference. The panels feel premium, the build quality is better than eco-worthy, and the performance is more consistent. Even though both are 200-watt systems, Renogy tends to deliver closer to its rated output in real-world conditions. And here's the big advantage: expandability. The included controller can handle up to 400 watts. That means you can double your system later without replacing major components. Eco-worthy doesn't really give you that same flexibility. Now yes, it still uses a PWM controller, which is the one downside. But compared to every other PWM system here, Renogy just does it better. And if you want to upgrade to MPPT later, you can. Compared to DOKIO, this is obviously not portable. Compared to Nature Power, it's less beginner-friendly. But compared to everything else, it's the most balanced system here. This is for people who are thinking long-term, not just, I want to try solar, but I want this to actually matter. So let me ask you, would you upgrade to MPPT right away, or stick with the stock setup first? 1. SOLPERK 50-watt kit, rewritten. And finally, number 1, the SOLPERK 50-watt kit. Now this might surprise some people because it's not the most powerful, but it's easily the most practical for what most people actually need. Think of it as the perfect middle ground. It's stronger than the 20-watt version, so it doesn't just maintain your battery, it can actually recover it. And compared to the big 200-watt kits, it's way simpler, cheaper, and easier to install. The real standout here is the waterproof smart controller. Unlike Renogy or eco-worthy, where you usually have to protect the controller, this one is built to live outside. That's a huge advantage for convenience. Performance-wise, you're getting around 200 to 250 watt-hours daily, which is perfect for maintaining and lightly charging medium-sized batteries. And compared to the 20-watt version, it's just way more capable. So while Renogy wins in power and DOKIO wins in portability, this wins in reliability and simplicity. If you just want something that works, lasts, and doesn't require constant attention, this is it. So what would you trust more for long-term use? The 20 watts or this? 50 watts? Let me know. So here's the deal. There's no one-size-fits-all here. If you want power, Renogy wins. If you want budget, eco-worthy makes sense. If you want portability, DOKIO is unbeatable. If you want simplicity, Nature Power is your pick. And if you just want reliable battery maintenance, SOLPERK takes it. Now I want to hear from you. Which one are you going with? And what are you planning to power? If this helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.